All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Natalie's. Thanks for coming out for this special event, supporting a great cause, and we also are live streaming on our Facebook page and Natalie's YouTube channel. The live stream, both live streams, we're live streaming the 6 o'clock show and also the electric show at 9 o'clock, and that's being sponsored by Middlefield Banking Center, a great community bank that's supporting live music, and we certainly encourage you to support them. Chuck Moore and his crew do a great job in Columbus. They've sponsored a number of events, and Sean Carney's Blues Freight Tuesday for a number of years, which due to the COVID dilemma that we're all still part of, has been put on hold, but hopefully one of these days before too long we'll get back to doing some regular programming on that. Those of you watching on the live stream too, you're going to see donation links pop up periodically, and those donations will go for Blues for a Cure. So keep that in mind. Anything you're able to do is greatly appreciated. And if you can't, we understand. It'd be still very, very helpful if you would share to your friends on the live stream, give our Facebook page and also Blues for a Cure page a like, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So thanks again for coming out. If you're new to Natalie's, we have restrooms over on the restaurant side and also on the second floor here. And so we're just really excited to be able to present this. We're almost out of the woods as far as COVID. Not quite yet, so we're still going to ask for your cooperation if you do leave your table to go to the restroom, to please wear your mask. After June 2nd, we're going to be making an announcement very quickly about what our policy is going to be after that. We are planning to go back to fuller capacity, and we're also going to ask those of you that aren't vaccinated to wear the mask as we're watching and monitoring the situation. So that's kind of where we stand, but you didn't come here to hear those kind of things. You came here to support a great cause and hear some great, great music. So on behalf of the Blues for a Cure, please make welcome to explain further and to make more introductions, Mark Puskarich.
Thank you, Charlie. Give a big round of applause to Charlie Jackson here, all the Natalie staff. Make sure you tip everybody great tonight and everything. And we want to welcome to Blues for a Cure 2021. You know, there wasn't one in 2020, so we're happy to be back and we're happy to be here. And we are supporting the Heather Pick Music Program at the James Cancer Hospital. And just a little bit about that program, we spent a number of years fundraising for that, and we still continue to do so. We raised $500,000. So that we can put live music in the hospital, in the lobby, and we bought camera equipment so that music can be piped up to the patients' rooms, because many times, you know, they can't get out of the rooms to see the performance in the lobby, so they'll get to watch it from their rooms on their TV. So that's what we did with that program, and it's for the patients, it's for the staff, it's for the loved ones that come to bring people for treatments, and it's touched many lives, and it's part of the healing process. As they built the new James Cancer Hospital, that was one of the four key ingredients that they wanted, was a robust music program. And we're part of putting that on and making sure it continues on. So we have a couple quick videos that we want to share with you over the live stream. Folks here won't get to see it, but they're really quick. We want to share those with you now, so please, Mitch. Then you can just let me know when they're done and I'll start talking again.
Well, it's called the Heather Pick Music Program, named after Heather, who was a news anchor here at 10 TV before she passed away in 2008. Tonight on 10 TV, you'll hear how people being treated at the James say that music is helping them heal from the inside out.
Something Heather would love right there.
Welcome to the Heather Pick Music Program at the James Cancer Hospital. We want to personally say hello and thank you for honoring our mom with music. I'm Julia.
And I'm Jack. Our mom was a believer.
I hope you never lose your sense of wonder. You get your fill to eat, but always keep that.
She believed music could unite people from across the world and help heal a hurting heart.
Feel small when you stand beside the ocean.
In fact, some of the songs you'll hear on this channel are her, singing from her CD, Circle of Support.
It's a collection of songs that meant a lot to our mom and us.
So we hope you dance and let your spirit soar.
We're so glad our mom's legacy lives on with the Heather Pick Music Program. And as she always told us, enjoy today.
I hope you dance. I hope you dance.
All right, so I think this table back here was doing it the smart way. I could hear the live stream going and the little videos going. So thank you for doing that. It helped me know where we're at in the script. But yes, it's all after the Heather Pick, who was on 10 TV, who had passed away a number of years ago from breast cancer. She was a friend of mine. I recorded an album for her, and so we wanted to honor her with the naming of this foundation at the James, where we played music and we tried to help the healing process in that manner. So support that fundraising tonight, in addition to your tickets revenue tonight, and we appreciate that very much. For those of you that are here, there is an auction that's lined up over on the side, but you'll see on your tables there's a website. It's that's basically Blues for a Cure, BFAC, like I thought, 2021.givesmart.com. So that'll be for all you out there on the live stream. You'll see that come up, and you'll have an opportunity. Just go to that link, register yourself, and you'll bid on these. You'll see all the auction items, and you can bid on those items. We'll ship them across the country. Please don't make us ship them overseas, but we'll ship them anywhere in the country if you're a winning bidder tonight and you're on the live stream. So just go to that link, register, and you can bid. And right now, there's a quick little video that's going to give you a preview of everything that's in the auction right now. All right, and just for all you folks here, or if you didn't catch it all, we've got a Buckeye Cruise for Cancer on land vacation in Florida. A great deal on that. Just even a minimum bid would get you down to Florida next month for the Buckeye Cruisers. That also benefits the James Cancer Hospital. We have a Tedeschi Trucks signed guitar, Keb Mo signed acoustic guitar, which one of the performers tonight, Bart Walker, personally had signed earlier this week and brought it up here with him from Nashville because they're good friends. We have a B.B. King Platinum album display, a Howlin' Wolf Platinum album display, a Robert Johnson Platinum album display, a leather guitar strap, Eric Clapton signed photo, Chuck Berry Concerto and Be Good signed album, a Stray Cats Rant and Rave signed album with Brian Setzer, and then we have opportunity to record your own song, 8 hours of recording studio time at a studio out east. We'll also have this event guitar. signed by all of the artists tonight here. And we also have event posters signed by the artists and Blues for Cure CDs and ball caps as well. So at this point in time, I'd like to introduce, get to the music part of it. And on my left is Mr. Sean Carney. He was a 2007 International Blues Challenge champion. His band was, and he was picked the best guitar player in the competition. He's going to be joined by another IBC champion as well tonight. But Sean Carney's played all over the world, France, Finland, Germany, and he's a world-renowned blues artist. And we're just so lucky to have him here in Columbus. He's my partner with Blues for a Cure. This is his founding idea, Sean Carney's Blues for a Cure. So I wanted to introduce you a great guitar player, a great friend, and a great advocate for the James, Mr. Sean Carney.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give a big round of applause to Charlie Jackson here at Natalie's. Chuck Moore, a.k.a. Albino Red, and our good friends at Middlefield Banking Company. A big hand for Middlefield Banking Company. And, of course, for Mark Piscarich. No way I could do things like this on my own, so I'm really excited to be able to do this and excited that we're able to have live music once again. So it's a really big night for us. We have a great lineup, so I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it. We're going to sort of go down the line here, starting with the introduction. Our first guest is a Columbus, Ohio native who I first heard about when he was working down in Houston, Texas, so we didn't actually get to meet until a few years after I had first heard about him. I think we first worked together somewhere up on Lake Erie. We were talking about it. Trying to figure out exactly when that was, sometime in the late 90s when we first met and worked together. I know he'll remember where that was. But he in addition to becoming quite a name on his own, he's been working with the great Ruthie Foster, who is not only a blues artist, but she really transcends the genre into soul and rock and roll, and is a really one of the elite artists in the blues world. And so that's quite a accomplishment and something to really be proud of. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start off with Haddon Sayers. A big hand for Haddon Sayers. And our second guest is also from Ohio. He comes to us from Middletown, Ohio, and he's also gone quite a far distance from Ohio in his career. I first met this guy, it must have been in the early 2000s maybe, when he was maybe 13 or 14 years old. And since that time...
I was 13 when that wasn't.
And okay. He has worked with Noah Hunt from the Kenny Wayne Shepherd Band regularly in a band called the 420 All-Stars, in addition to a lot of other wonderful artists. I could talk about the names, but we don't really have time for that. And he's also been working with Bart Walker in a group, the Desert City Ramblers, that's right. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Scotty Bratcher. A big hand for Scotty Bratcher. And our final guest I'd like to introduce comes to us from Nashville, Tennessee, and he's an International Blues Challenge winner that Mark mentioned earlier, and he's also an Albert King Award winner, and he won the competition back in 2012, and I was lucky enough, Mark and Steve and I were all lucky enough to be there, and we made friends with Bart and invited him to become a part of Blues for a Cure, and he's really become one of the core artists in the organization in the years that he's been involved. And he landed a great gig as guitarist for Hank Williams Jr. a couple years ago, and it's a real testament to the kind of guy he is, because he's continued to be involved with us here in Columbus at Blues for a Cure, and it's continued to be really important to him personally. And I'm just thrilled that he's here with us, ladies and gentlemen, because he came some distance to be here, and we all know it's kind of crazy to travel right now. So a big hand for Bart Walker, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together for Bart Walker. All right.
At least me and my guitar match. We both need haircuts.
All right, I'm going to start things off over here on this side of the stage with a tune by one of my guitar heroes. His name was Robert Lockwood. This is a song I recorded on the very first Blues for a Cure CD that we ever did. It's called C.C. Rider. Now see Rider, see what you've done, Lord, Lord, made me love you, and now your man done come. You have made me love you, and now your man done come. Now see Rider, where did you stay last night? Lord, Lord, your hair's all tangled, and your clothes ain't on you right. Oh, I said your hair's all tangled, and your clothes ain't on you right. I'm going to buy me a shotgun with a great long shiny barrel. Lord, Lord, I'm gonna shoot the man that stole away my gal. I'm gonna shoot the man that stole away my gal. And I'm going to the river. I'm gonna take my rocking chair. Lord, Lord, if I don't find my baby, I'm gonna rock away from here. If I don't find my baby, I'm gonna rock away from here. Thank you. Woo. It's my pleasure to turn the microphone over to Mr. Bart Walker.
Sounds good. I really appreciate y'all letting me be here. This is an incredible organization, and I'm very proud to be a part of it, so I appreciate you and Mark always having me whenever life affords that opportunity. I think I'll start things off my bit with a tune that I wrote a long time ago, and I had gone back to school after getting kicked out 3 times and quitting twice, and then I decided to give it one more go. My mom being a teacher, she's real proud of that. Had her for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Had all the friends, right? Anyway, that's a different story. So I went back to school to be an X-ray tech. Decided I was going to quit playing guitar. And then I kept getting calls for sessions during class, so finally I just got up and walked out for the last time. But anyway, while I was doing that, I took a songwriting class and came out with this song. It's called My Favorite Color is the Blues. As I was walking through the fields in a small town, my feet was hanging on the roots in the soft ground. I couldn't decide on where I want to go. I know it's not here because the nights, they move so slow. I don't know where I'll be in a year, but I am not worried and I ain't got no fears. I gotta get out, I gotta spread my wings, and all I'm taking with me is this old beat up 6-string. Yeah, and I don't know why I've got all this pain inside, but I know that it will always be this way. Hey, it's a shame, who's to blame for why it's always been this way? But the blues is all that's been good to me, and that's why I say my favorite color is the blues. My favorite color is the blue. I got to Memphis early that next year. The sound of the blues is ringing heavy in my ear. Now I love the blues, but the blues love me too. They're always looming over whatever I go and do. I did my thing down there for 2 years or more. Then I got ran over by this 2-big girl. I'm getting tired, I'm starting to get ill. I'm gonna pack my guitar and head back to Nashville. Yeah, and I don't know why I've got all this pain inside, but I know that it will always be this way. Hey, it's a shame, who's to blame for why it's always been this way? But the blues is all that's what good to me, and that's why I say my favorite color is the blue. My favorite color is the blue. Yeah, and I don't know why I've got all this pain inside, but I know that it will always be this way. Hey, it's a shame, who's to blame for why it's always been this way? But the blues is all that's been good to me, and that's why I say my favorite color is the blue. Thank you, thank you.
Bart Walker. Yeah. Well, put your hands together once again, ladies and gentlemen, for Mr. Scotty Bratcher.
I'm not really sure why I'm here. No, this has been a really cool weekend for me to get to hang out with these guys, and I really am not sure how I even get mentioned in the same sentence as them, because the best part about my set is when it's over and I get to watch these guys play. You'll agree. But no, it's really cool what Mark and everybody and Sean, thank you so much. I had a grandmother that survived breast cancer at 79. She's broken both her femurs and her hip twice, has a torn shoulder, still eating beef jerky. She don't mess around. She's 91 now. So, and if it wasn't for the things that you guys do and the money that you raise, I wouldn't have a 91-year-old grandma. And so now that I've killed all the excitement of the show, but thank you very much.
And you wonder why you're here.
Yeah, I do. Well, it's because Mark's an equal opportunity employer. This is the third time that I've called. It's 3 a.m. and I can't sleep at all. I gotta get back behind the wheel. Just had to tell someone how I feel. Oh. Treat you good for a little while, to draw you in, oh, just a smile. She can't go on in the shape she's in. How did it start? Well, will it end? Oh, I'm ready for rain. Ready for rain to wash this world, take away the pain. It's so insane to send the rain, wash this world, take away the pain. Ready for rain. Treats you good for a little while, to draw you in, oh, just a smile. To see the dark clouds up above. God, pour out your wrath, pour out your love. Wash this world, take away the pain. Oh, it's so insane. Send the rain. Wash this world, take away the pain. Ready for rain. ready for rain, ready for rain, Thank you so much.
Scotty Bratcher, ladies and gentlemen. A big hand for Scotty Bratcher. Our next guest, I want to mention before he starts that he has a couple of recent CDs. He has one called Dopamine Machine, and then he did something really interesting that I haven't seen many artists, I don't know if any artists have done it. He recorded the same album, Dopamine Machine, recorded it as a solo acoustic album and called it Acoustic Dopamine. And I really enjoyed that, and really enjoyed the songs on the CD. And we got to do one of the final Blues Fray Tuesdays together before the whole world ended back in, I don't know, what was that, 2019, I guess, with Lindsay Beaver. That was a really fun show, but really happy to have him in the Blues for a Cure fold, ladies and gentlemen. A big hand for Haddon Sayers.
Thank you, Sean. Appreciate that. Everybody feeling good? Yeah. Good. Yeah, I don't know why Scotty Bratcher's here. I mean, I was thinking that same thing while he was playing all that kick-ass guitar. No, seems like everybody made a little comment about how important the Blues for a Cure is. I appreciate that as well, because oftentimes we get here together and we start laughing and joking and playing guitars and turning it up louder and louder, and then we just kind of forget about why we're here, other than our own what we get into. But I really appreciate all the work that you've done, Sean, and Mark Pascarich especially. The reason I'm in town, I'm actually a Houstonian. I was born in Nacogdoches, Texas, but I was raised in Houston. And the reason I live here is because my wife is a cancer geneticist, actually, and she was hired to work at the Nationwide Children's Hospital. So the only reason I'm here is for that reason, so I'm really happy to be here. I've got a song from that CD, actually, that I'll do. It's Acoustic Dopamine is the name of the CD, and this particular song, it's called Blood Red Coupe de Ville. I went down the YouTube rabbit hole. I was checking out this songwriter that I love, Warren Zevon. Most everybody in here probably knows who Warren Zevon is. And it turned out that he had a big friendship with a guy named Hunter S. Thompson, one of the later Beat Generation writers. And those two were like two quirky peas in a pod, and they would go out and do crazy stuff together, like drive around and take LSD and shoot machine guns in the desert and that kind of stuff. And I got really fascinated just watching the two of those guys. There's YouTube videos of the two of them together, and I was just fascinated watching these two, guys hanging out. And at one point they were talking about this trip that they had, and Warren Zevon just turns to the camera and he's describing the car that they were in, and he just said, "It was a blood red Coupe de Ville." And he said it just like that, and I was like, man, I got to have a song called Blood Red Coupe de Ville. And I didn't know what it was going to sound like. It didn't take very long to come up with it, but like this. I feel so alive when I'm driving down the boulevard. I feel so good when I'm behind the wheel. And I'm reminded that life is sweet, even though it's hard. When I'm rolling in my blood red Coupe de Ville. It says a lot about a man, the car that he drives. It's everything about the way it makes you feel. And I wonder what they'll say about me after my final drive. Rolling in my blood red Coupe de Ville. Well, they say I live too fast, that I died too free, that I got lost in alcohol, found in the reverie. Lord, I wonder just what they'll say when it come down to me. Rolling in my blood red Coupe de Ville. say I live too fast, that I die too free, that I got lost in alcohol, found in the reverie. Lord, I wonder just what they'll say when it come down to me, rolling in my blood-red Coupe de Ville. And I feel invincible, maybe just a little evil, when I'm rolling down that old and Tangy River Road. And I realize there's so many feelings that I've yet to feel when I'm rolling in my blood-red Coupe de Ville. So if you find yourself all alone in a crowded room, don't let yourself get hung up on all the doom and the gloom. It's only a flash in the darkness before the light reveals. You gotta pretend you're rolling in a blood-red Coupe de Ville. Yeah, it's all just a bunch of metaphors, but the spirit, it's so real. Rolling in a blood-red Coupe de Ville. Thank you, y'all.
That's Haddon Sayers, ladies and gentlemen. How about it? All right, I got one more, I think, by myself, and when I get to my next one, I'm going to ask somebody to help me. I don't know who it is yet. Got a kind-hearted woman, do anything in this world for me. Got a kind-hearted woman, do anything in this world for me. Man, these evil-hearted women, you know they just won't let me be. I love my baby don't love me. I love my baby don't love me. I really love that woman, I can't stand to leave her be. You know it ain't but the one thing that makes your daddy drink. I get worried about how you treats me, and I began to think, oh, babe, my life don't feel the same. You really breaks my heart when you call Mr. So-and-so's name. Got a kind-hearted woman, she studies evil all the time. I've got a kind-hearted woman, she studies evil all the time. Just wills to kill me, just to have it on her mind. Someday, I'm gonna shake your hand goodbye. Someday, I'm gonna shake your hand goodbye. I'm not gonna give you any more my loving, because I just ain't satisfied. Thank you. Once again, it's my pleasure to present Mr. Burt Walker.
So, kind of tagging on to your thing here. We're doing cars and stories about how our wives one-upped us. And we married up. I know you did. We know each other better. I'm slowly learning. I think you did too.
For an entire year after I got married. It didn't matter who I called. They'd answer the phone and go, hey, before you say anything, you really outkicked your coverage, didn't you? Didn't matter who it was.
I wasn't going to go that deep, but that's cool. I'm glad you did. It's cool. So anyway, my wife also is way better than me. She's a music therapist. I always say she's a smart version of us. We make people have a great time, and then we send them off to people like that to fix their lives. And but anyway, she at the time that I wrote this next song was working at a hospital in Nashville as a music therapist, and she forgot something at work. It was like 6 in the morning, and I had just gone to bed at like 4, and she called me and needed me to bring whatever it was to work. So I did, and as I'm pulling up to the hospital, there's this Mustang coming at me. It's like a 90s bubbly, ugly Mustang. Sorry if any of y'all drive a 90s Mustang, but I don't really dig them. And a big whale tail on the back of it, and it was painted with like flip-flop paint, you know, so it changes from purple to green to gold as it goes by. And it had wheels so big they had to jack up the car to get it underneath it. And as it got closer, I was just thinking to myself, like, man, this is probably my people. Like, they're still living yesterday. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gone to bed yet. So, but as I get closer, I see this little old lady, man, like between the steering wheel and the dashboard, I could see her face, and her blue hair was sticking up over the steering wheel. And I was just floored by it. And so I grabbed my phone and hit the voice recorder and went, "Granny's got a Mustang." And I threw it back in the seat. And then I went back home and went to bed and woke up later that day and called my buddy Moochie. And we wrote this song called "Granny's Got a Mustang." Somebody's going to take a solo somewhere in here. It's an A, so just be ready. Also, I said I didn't like 90s Mustangs, so when I wrote the song, I couldn't bring myself to do it, so I wrote it about a 60s Mustang because those are cooler, even though I'm a Dodge guy. But whatever. We're twisted individuals. It was a 67 shiny piece of Detroit muscle, low and mean, made a hustle and bustle. A 4-barrel sitting on a 302, red like the burning of a new tattoo. Floor on the floor, black leather bucket seats, built to lay rubber up and down the street. You can hear her coming from a mile away. That fastback ain't moving too fast today. Blue head rocking in a hand-knitted sweater, riding in her badass grocery getter. Every head turning, creeping in the fast lane. Oh, Granny's got a Mustang. Well, it takes her to bingo every Friday night. Brake lights shining at all the green lights. Traffic jam, she's ahead of the train. 20 miles an hour and it ain't even rain. You ain't ever seen that much chrome in the parking lot of an old folks' home. You can hear her coming from a mile away. That fastback ain't moving too fast today. Blue head rocking in a hand-knitted
sweater, riding in her badass grocery getter. Every head turning, creeping in the fast lane. Oh, Granny's got a Mustang. Mr. Haddon Sayers, everybody. Well, a car like that is something to see. Parked every week outside the pharmacy. A poodle riding shotgun along for the ride with a box full of Kleenex and a TV guide. She ain't breaking no laws, she ain't bending no rules. But Granny's got a ride that's cooler than you. You can hear her coming from a mile away. That fastback ain't moving too fast today. Blue hair rocking in a hand-knitted sweater, riding in her badass grocery getter. Every head turning, creeping in the fast lane. Oh, Granny's got a Mustang. I said every head turning, creeping in the fast lane. Oh, Granny's got a Mustang. Yeah. Thank you.
How about that? Bart Walker, huh? Yeah. Scotty Bratcher, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I'm back. Y'all get to deal with me again. It's a weird time for guitar players. No, I mean, take COVID. I mean, it's a weird time for everybody, but up until that point, it was a weird time for guitar players. Let us have our moment. We don't get enough solos as it is. There aren't really very many guitar heroes anymore, and I think it's got a lot to do with music is not as important as it used to be. I mean, to me it was. I kind of grew up in the last generation of people my age that used to watch their parents, or at least one of their parents, play music. And well, that wasn't the funny part. Thank God, y'all ready. I mean, I did comedy for 30 years. Three years, see? It was already funny. God, I blew that, didn't I? Got me excited. People started laughing. I was like, oh, this takes me back to a time. But I don't think music is as important. I was one of the last generations where all my friends grew up watching people play music in the living room on weekends. And it's sadly gone away. And I was really, truly the only one of my friends that came out of that playing an instrument. They all learned what Nintendos were and stuff. And I knew what Fender and Gibson were. And I took and ran with it, and I thank God for that because this is way cooler than Mario. It's like, but, and if
You never played Sonic the Hedgehog, did you?
It was never more evident today. Bart and I skipped out to go get coffee today, and somebody's excited over there. Shit. If you can't control your date, get her out of here. But Bart and I went through a drive-thru earlier and got some coffee, and we met a kid. And
what'd we get?
We don't talk about it. They had to ask me if I wanted coffee in mine. There was so much sugar in it. I ordered what I thought looked good on the menu, and the guy goes, do you want coffee in that? I was like, well, it says coffee on the menu. Yes, please. But this guy, he wanted to talk for some reason. I don't know. We look like approachable guys, I guess. And he wanted to talk to us about, just everything until the order was ready. It really has no point in this story other than we wound up talking to this guy about the fact that we were guitar players and musicians and things, and he was actually going to OSU for music. It wasn't theory. It was just the history of music or something like that.
He was taking a class, History of Rock and Roll.
There you go.
Which would sound like the best class. I wish I had a...
No, it would have been great.
Wish I hadn't quit so soon,
And the first question I said, have you ever seen The Last Waltz? The band, The Last Waltz, the Scorsese movie. I bet you, and I'm going to have to ask you to clap. I've never done this in my life, but I can't see y'all. Has everybody seen The Last Waltz? or at least owned the record. So it wasn't your kid we were talking to. The last waltz should be curriculum when you're taking college courses on music. And so I wasn't planning on doing this, but just because somebody made Levon Helm upset in heaven today. He works at Starbucks if you want to go talk to him after a while. I'm gonna do a band song for you. I was on the road with Tim Wilson, who's a comic, and he passed away about 6 years ago. We did over 300 shows together, and he was just a huge band fan. I learned so much about music by getting into the band, and it all relates because Levon Helm really had a problem with them trying to take Muddy Waters out of the Last Waltz movie. And it was because Muddy Waters was his biggest influence. He said, I wouldn't be playing music if it wasn't for Muddy Waters. And if you're going to take him out, you can go ahead and take me out of the movie. And he was the lead singer. And so it all comes around to the fact that the reason we're here is because blues has influenced, no matter how into it we seem on stage as far as how deep into the style of blues, because there's a million of them. And Led Zeppelin was a blues band playing through Marshall. So to me, as a guitar player, it's just really important that we really just bring to light how influential blues has been and what a huge part of all our lives it is. Is my time up yet, Mark? Was that good? I like talking to you. I don't ever play acoustic gigs, and this is why, because you get to hear about 3 songs and 2 hours of me talking. Virgil Kane is a name, and I served on the Danville train. To Storm's cavalry came, tore up the tracks again. Was the winter of '65. We were hungry and just barely alive. By May the 10th, Richmond had fell. It's a time I remember oh so well. The night they drove old Dixie down, and all the bells were ringing. The night they drove old Dixie down, and all the people were singing. They went la 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 la. Back with my wife from Tennessee, till one day she came to me. Said, Virgil, quick, come see. There goes Robert E. Lee. I don't mind chopping wood, and I don't care that the money's no good. You take what you need, you leave the rest. But they never should have taken the very best. The night they drove old Dixie down, and all the bells were ringing. The night they drove old Dixie down, and all the people were singing. They went la 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 la. Like my father before me, I will work the land. Like my brother above me, took a rebel stand. He was just 18, proud and brave, but a Yankee laid him in his grave. I swear by the mud below my feet, they can't raise a cane back up when he's in defeat. The night they drove old Dixie down, and all the people were singing. Yeah, the night they drove old Dixie down. Those people, oh, they still singing. They went la 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 la. The night they drove old Dixie down, and all the bells were ringing. The night they drove old Dixie down, all the people were singing. They went la 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 la. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Scotty Bratcher.
That was awesome, man. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. I needed that. I've got a couple of kids. I've got a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old, and y'all are like, damn, he's old. What the hell happened? And I don't know what. I mean, I know what happened. I just don't. I don't know why. But yeah, the 6-year-old, he's wild. He's I don't know how many people, they call him Fireball. They called him Fireball when he was in daycare. And I don't know how many people here have kids that they go pick up at daycare. But if you ever walk into daycare and there's like that one with curly hair and he's spinning around in a circle, peeing his pants. Yeah, like you guys. That one's mine, yeah.
It ain't just a daycare.
It's not a daycare. It just keeps on going. Yeah. But when I was a little kid, I had this move I would do. My parents would try to pick me up, and I would stiffen my body. I'd make it next to impossible to hold me, and my parents called that the backbreaker whenever I did it. He's doing the backbreaker. And my son just automatically, genetically, he knew how to do that right when he came out. He just automatically did that. But then he did so many other things that I never even thought about doing. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed that the size of a harmonica is almost exactly the same as that pipe underneath the toilet when it goes into the floor. So if you flush a harmonica, I mean, that's okay with me if you flush a harmonica, but that's a whole nother matter. But if you were to drop one in there and flush it, it doesn't come out and it don't come back. You just got to unbolt it from the floor and throw it in the trash, heavy trash. And then if you follow that up the next week with a kazoo, same problem. You just got to take it off and put it out of heavy trash. Pretty soon, heavy trash started thinking I was weird because I was throwing away all these nice toilets. But anyway, I wrote a song for him. He became the backbreaker to me, and I wrote a song for him called Backbreaker. I'd like to play it for you right now. I recorded this album in Nashville, Acoustic Dopamine. I went down there, and I was at this nice studio, and I had my lyrics all set up, ready to record it, and making sure I didn't make any mistakes when I was singing. I was like, I like to look at my lyrics when I'm doing it. And the producer was kind of standing over my shoulder. I could tell he was reading my lyrics, and he goes, man, I don't know who that backbreaker is, but he sounded like one bad dude. I'm like, he's two, brother. It's a blues song, goes like this, got a guitar solo in there. So you'll know when it happens, Bart. Go ahead. Go ahead and take I'll throw one back at you here in a second. You face down on the floor, you got a bottle in your hand. Every word you say is another word I don't understand. Backbreaker. Well, you stay up all night, then you sleep all day. What kind of man lives a life this way? Backbreaker. One day you're gonna be a heartbreaker. One day you're gonna be a love maker. You might be a soul shaker. Today you're just the backbreaker. Well, backbreaker. You got it all together. You're flushing it down the drain. Everything changes, everything stays the same. Well, backbreaker. And every time you scream, every time you cry, every time you shout, makes an old man wonder why. Well, bank breaker. One day you're gonna be a heartbreaker. One day you're gonna be a love maker. Yeah, you might even be a litigator. Today you're just the bag breaker. Well, bag breaker. Here comes that guitar. Walker, y'all. One day you're gonna be a heartbreaker. One day you're gonna be a love maker. Let's hope you're not the perpetrator. Today you're just the bag breaker. Well, bag breaker. You're taking me to the limit. You're cutting me to the bone. Now I'm caught up in it. I ain't never gonna leave you alone. Well, bag breaker. Cause there's gonna come a day when you start turning gray, and a brand new bag breaker could have come your way. Well, bag breaker. One day you're gonna be a heartbreaker. One day you're gonna be a love maker. You might be a soul shaker. Today you're just the bag breaker. Well, bag breaker. Well, bag breaker. Well, bag breaker. Yeah, thanks a lot, y'all. Bar Walker on guitar.
Haddon Sayers, ladies and gentlemen. How about a big hand for him once again? I don't go to church on Sunday. I don't get on my knees to pray. I don't memorize the books of the Bible. I got my own special way. And I know Jesus loved me, maybe just a little bit more. I fall down on my knees every Sunday as a real release scan the store. And I got me a chocolate Jesus to make me feel so good inside. It's got to be a chocolate Jesus to keep me satisfied. Well, it's the only thing that can pick me up. It's better than a cup of gold, 'cause only a chocolate Jesus can satisfy my soul. When the weather gets rough and it's whiskey in the shade, it's best to wrap your Savior up in cellophane. Well, it flows like the big muddy, but that's okay. Pour him over ice cream for a nice parfait. It's got to be a chocolate Jesus to make me feel so good inside. It's got to be a chocolate Jesus to keep me satisfied. Hey, Scotty, E minor. Oh yeah, do it again. One more time, man. Yeah, keep on going. Scotty Bratcher, ladies and gentlemen. When the weather gets rough and it's whiskey in the shade, it's best to wrap your savior up in cellophane. Well, it flows like the big muddy, but that's okay. Pour him over ice cream for a nice parfait. It's got to be a chocolate Jesus to make me feel so good inside. It's got to be a chocolate Jesus if you want to keep me satisfied. If you want to keep me, oh yeah. If you want to keep me, oh yeah. If you want to keep me satisfied. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So, are we turning the whole house before the full band show? Is everybody? Are any of you guys coming back for the next one, or few of yous? Word. We really appreciate that. Yeah. So this will be kind of cool, or at least I think it is. So you have to pretend like it is, because I have the microphone. And but so I'm gonna do an acoustic version of a song I'm gonna do later, just to tell the story about it. This is a song that I wrote to my wife. It's kind of my I'm sorry song, and also in the next louder set we're gonna play the song that tells the story that came just before the I'm sorry song. It's kind of the lead up moment. But anyway, this one's called Waiting on Daylight, and I'm sure none of you guys have ever screwed up bad enough to need a song to say I'm sorry, but if you ever do, this is a pretty good one. It worked for me. She's still around.
Waiting on daylight, looking up at the moon, knowing this long, hurtful night will be over soon. I've had some time alone to think this through. Now I know nothing means more to me than you. Waiting on daylight to come back and do what's right. Hoping you forgive me for the way I was last night. Waiting on daylight to come back to your door. After all those second chances, Lord, I'm praying that there's one more. This time I'll find a way to make it right. Yeah, I'm waiting on daylight. Said I'm waiting on daylight. If this was the first time, I know you'd understand. Sometimes a show of strength is just a weakness in a man. Sometimes a man needs mercy when he knows that he's done wrong. Seems that bad dream kept me up all night long, waiting on daylight to come back and do what's right. Hoping you forgive me for the way I was last night, waiting on daylight to come back to your door. After all those second chances, Lord, I'm praying that there's one more. This time I'll find a way to make it right. Yeah, I've been searching all over, trying to find a way to make it right. I've been searching all over, trying to find a way to make it right. Yeah, I'm waiting on daylight. Said I'm waiting on daylight. Yeah, I'm waiting on daylight.
Thank you.
If you can't tell, I don't do a lot of acoustic shows. This is weird. Like, there's always something I could blame on a bass player or a drummer or something. And if this goes wrong, it's on me. But no, it's really cool. I mean, this whole weekend, it's just been a lot of fun, and there's the acoustic parts of these shows are really cool for me, just personally, to get to play some of this stuff that I never get to play because I'm always with the band, and there's a lot of these songs that I've never worked up with the band. I've just written stuff on an acoustic, and it's always just kind of sat there, and I've never done anything with it. So this might really suck, is what I'm trying to say. Well, everybody else doing songs they wrote. I had to pay somebody to do that one. How many times did I try to run? Never seeming to get things done. Lord knows it'll always be like this. California to New Orleans, trying well beyond my means, just trying to get back to you for that one last kiss. Now I'm stuck in this prison cell, putting myself through hell, and I know there ain't no saving me this time. And I know there ain't no saving me this time. Big old house with a fence out back, a couple of miles from the old racetrack, in the sleepy little town you always thought you'd leave. Tucking the kids almost every night, hoping tomorrow might work out right. But you roll up your sleeves and you roll up again, 'cause you're stuck in this prison cell, putting yourself through hell. And I know there ain't no saving you this time. And I know there ain't no saving you this time. You prayed to God and you hoped in less. You put in all in your distant past that the door would close and your anchor would hold fast. Prison cell, putting ourselves through hell, and we know there ain't no saving us this time, 'cause we're stuck in this prison cell, putting ourselves through hell, and we know there ain't no saving us this time. And we know there ain't no saving us this time. Thank you so much.
I mentioned I was from Texas. I was born in Nacogdoches, and I moved to Lufkin, Texas from there, from Lufkin, Texas to Plano, Texas, and Plano, Texas to Sugar Land, Texas, Sugar Land, Texas to College Station, Texas, College Station to Houston, Texas, Houston, Texas to Austin, Texas, and then back to Houston, and then to Columbus, Ohio. Columbus, Ohio. Yay! This is your chance, y'all. Columbus, Ohio. Yeah! Hey, that ain't bad. That's not bad at all. That's cool. A lot of people just say, why? Instead of cheering when I play in other towns, they're just like, why? Why would this dude? It's because my wife got a kick-ass job. That's why any guitar player ever moves anywhere. Exactly. Even Eric Clapton couldn't get out of it. He lives here too, damn it. Sometimes, when he's not at his castle. But yeah, it was a kind of a balmy day in February, the day we moved, 67, sunny, really pretty. Grass was still green, blue sky. We loaded everything we owned into a full-size moving truck, and we drove, whatever it is, 1,200 miles to get here. And they had what they called the ice storm of the decade. And the trees were down, the power was out, and the Starbucks was closed. But even all that negative weather could not dampen my enthusiasm when we opened up the doors of that big old truck and we slid our shit right across the ice, right up on the front porch. We opened up the door, started to put it inside. The neighbors came over and they're like, hey, we put antifreeze in your toilet. And I was like, why? And they said, well, you know, the power goes out and it gets really cold and the water in the toilet could freeze and it could break the toilet. I have a lot of stories about toilets, apparently. Just realized that. But all I could think was, why would I move to a place where this could possibly happen? But it was too late at that point. We couldn't turn around. So we got everything inside. The toilet didn't freeze. The power came back on. The heat started to work again. I went right back to writing songs, just like I was doing back in Houston. And I'd like to play for you that first song I wrote when I got here. It's a song called Take Me Back to Texas. Goes like this. Well, I've been to Louisiana, Missouri, and Tennessee. They got a little town in Ohio where everybody's being real good to me. Northern California, that's where the women taste like wine. But if you take me back to Texas, I won't mind. Well, I went up to Oklahoma, on out to Michigan. I came back down through old Chicago. I felt the cold wind blow again. Seen smiling faces, all those places. I'm going back sometime. But if you take me back to Texas, I won't mind. Take me back to Texas, I won't mind, I won't mind. New York's great, but the Lone Star State is where I spend my time. I've been around the world and I just can't seem to shake this state of mind. So take me back to Texas, I won't mind. Somebody scream in Columbus, Ohio. At the time of my life in the city of lights, some people call Get Paris. I stayed up all night with some friends of mine down in Berlin, Germany. I've seen smiling faces, all those places. I'm going back sometime. But if you take me back to Texas, I won't mind. Said if you take me back to Texas, I won't mind. Why don't you take me back to Texas? I won't mind.
Yeah. Haddon Sayers, ladies and gentlemen.
Scotty Bratcher on the guitar.
Yeah. We really don't have time for one more, but we're going to give you one more anyway. I'm going to put my friend Bart on the spot because I heard him doing Oreo Cookie Blues, and we haven't done that yet.
I wrote the words down just in case somebody wanted to do it. Anybody know Lonnie Mack? He was a bad dude, man. And I heard a lot of stories saying that he was too country for blues and too blues for country. But I think he was freaking perfect. Chocolate on my fingers, icing on my lips, sugar, diabetes, and blood on my hips. I keep the nightlight burning in the kitchen, baby. I go downstairs and cruise. Yeah, I got them Oreo cream sandwich, chocolate covered cream filled cookie blue. I hide them in the cabinet, I keep them in a jar. For emergencies, you know I keep them in the glove compartment of my car. I can't live without them. They get me higher than I can get on booze. Yeah, you know I got them Oreo cream sandwich, chocolate covered cream filled cookie blue. Who wants to play it? You'll go ahead. Right. We may as well all ride. Who wants to go next? He likes to make people beg for him to play. I ain't no good. I don't do well. That's what he does when he gets pissed.
Well, that doctor says I'm crazy. You better give him up and quick. Or you'll be pushing up daisies because, boy, you're definitely sick. But I can't quit if I wanted to. Yeah, I don't want to lose. Yeah, it's them Oreo cream sandwich, chocolate covered cream filled back to mine, built by Nabisco, you know, ain't no rookie. Next best thing to Nookie Cookie Blue.
Bart Walker, Scotty Bratcher, Haddon Sayers.
All right, y'all give it up for them one more time. Come on. Y'all, just wanted to say thanks for joining us for live music here at Natalie's tonight. I did just want to remind y'all that we do have a late show here, so if you all are not attending that, then we just ask that as you start making your way out, if you still have food or drink that you're finishing up, you are welcome to take that over to the restaurant side of the venue. And we'll see y'all soon again for live music.